I wanted to start off actually with a little bit of the Saudi stuff because it's interesting. Everybody wanted, especially the Jamie Carragher's of this world, the Gary Nevilles, they all wanted Chelsea and the Saudi league to be investigated about 2 weeks ago when Chelsea was selling players there. We've seen a lot of Liverpool fans over the years condemn the money that PSG have got, slam the money that City have got. They've already started campaigns that Man United shouldn't get the Qatari owners. That hasn't even been agreed. But now we see in their eyes, their greatest ever player, Steven Gerrard, become a manager out there. Their greatest ever Premier League captain, Henderson, has joined them. Do you believe that the Scousers will still be calling for investigations into that money? Also, 40 million maybe on their way in from Fabinho. What's your take on it? Because I know as a City fan, you get so much stick from Liverpool fans for where your money's come from, the region of the world your owners are in. What would you make of their club accepting 50-odd million from them and their legends joining that league?
Just got to be consistent, haven't they? They like to talk a lot about what's right and what's wrong in football, and what's the right way of doing it and what's the wrong way of doing it. Well, you've got to practice what you preach, innit? It's Man City are wrong to take the money from oil. Man City are wrong to do this. Chelsea are wrong to sell players to Saudi Arabia. The regime is this, the regime is that. And they start going off on one. And then Stevie G, takes a big chunk of dough. And Hendo takes a big chunk of dough. And then all of a sudden it's quiet over there. So I don't know. Let's see. Let's see if any ex-Liverpool pundits or ex-players come out and call it out. It is what it is. These things have a habit of biting you on the arse. It's all right running off with this opinion, but are you just running off with the general consensus of what everyone else is saying, or do you genuinely mean it? If you genuinely mean it and it comes back round and you have a moral stand on it, then I've got to respect it. But football's full of these opinions these days. These guys on these shows that will rip me apart for Sheikh Mansour coming into Manchester City, but as soon as Qatar's linked with Man United, they've got Arab headdress on and they're outside Old Trafford with a sign saying "We want Qatar." So that's the state of modern football as it is. There's a lot of people like to criticise behind the keyboard, but when it actually comes down to it, deep down, we know what they want, and it is what it is. But like I say, Liverpool fans, they're very, very opinionated. They've always had an opinion about certain things, and that maybe it's different because it's Liverpool. I don't know. Maybe it's a Scouse thing. It might be different. You don't get on your own players' backs. But let me tell you this: if Ryan Giggs or any of them boys from back in the day, Neville and that, had jumped on that bandwagon, I'm sure them Scousers have had something to say about it. But we'll see.
Look, I agree. I've got no personal issue. Same as I didn't have an issue with Chelsea doing it. I have no issue with Liverpool selling players to that region of the world, taking their money and reinvesting it into their club. But I do agree with you completely. The hypocrisy stinks to high heaven. I haven't seen Jamie Carragher come out and condemn it and ask for investigations on Liverpool's part to make sure it's all above board and all in good standing. It's silence. And I understand that some of these pundits have friends and connections at clubs and they don't want to call them out. I understand it completely. But that's why I've advocated for ages. Keep your mouth shut. You can't come out and condemn or slam money from that region in one side of your mouth and then stay quiet on the other when it's somebody connected to you. We've seen it last season where Arsenal fans had a sign in their stadium saying, "Say no to oil money." The stadium's called the Emirates. Because money come from the Emirates to pay for that stadium. They're still your shirt sponsors. It's just hypocrisy and it smells. When Newcastle got taken over by the Saudis, I must have been in about 10 different spaces where people are like, "Terry, you're going to condemn it because of the human rights records and everything else." And I said, look, I know there's definitely issues within those nations. I think most countries around the world will have different problems. America have got cities that don't have clean drinking water. Look at our government's done to people and kill people with austerity. I don't even want to get into it. None of us are sitting here in the modern day world or historically, and the whiter than white, cleaner than clean.
I just think Terry, right? I was having this conversation. Sorry to interrupt, but
it's all right, mate.
I just feel that football now, it's just the football banter levels are just beyond anything I've ever known. Because when I was growing up, you bantered each other's teams, you bantered each other's areas. You was a Scouser, you was a Manc, Liverpool, United, City, whatever. You all had a bit of banter, but now people are bantering each other's sponsors. People are bantering each other's colours of the seats of the stadium. People are bantering each other's training grounds, bantering each other's. It's just bullshit, mate. And it's like
grown men fighting over how good or bad a shirt design is.
Yeah,
I don't understand.
Oh, your trebles, it doesn't count because you've been charged by this and you've been charged by that. And I just think to myself, is that what football's about these days? Is that what it is? Point scoring, people trying to this and trying to that. Someone said to me, your treble doesn't count because you're going to get charged with it. I said, all right, have we been charged? No, but you're going to get charged. I said, and how do you know that? Well, I've read the emails. All right, so you've read the emails online, but, everybody, this is how pathetic it is. And it's like, I said, send Will Smith round the Men in Black, one of them memory erasers, and just erase my memory and that. And then that's the only way that it doesn't count for me. Because I definitely saw it. I definitely lived it. I've definitely been there, but I just think, come on, man. There's a period where grown men have got to look at themselves and think, do I want to talk about football? Do I want to have banter about football? Or do I want to pretend I'm a lawyer and a financial advisor and start giving people grief on the internet? Because that's what's happening now, mate. That's what's happening.
Man, no, I agree. And as I said, when people wanted me to condemn Newcastle's takeover, and I said, look, I know there's issues that people have with it. I said, but I'm not going to be a hypocrite. Oh, what do you mean hypocrite? I said, well, would I walk away from watching football as a fan, covering football as a job, and would I stop being a Man United fan if another nation from that same region took over my club? The answer is no. So what I'm not going to do is sit here, pretend to be overly virtuous and virtue signal and pretend that I know more than everybody else and that I'm the nicest man in the world and everybody should respect me, just to turn around and celebrate if a nation or a person from that one of those nations takes over my football club. I've seen a lot of YouTubers go down that route where they condemn City's money for years, and then when their club gets taken over, they celebrate it. I just don't want to be one of them people, and that's my issue with a lot of this. It's all about trying to look good, take things away from other people. And some of it's even not even about. But there was a Liverpool fan yesterday who put a post out where he added about 100 million to Man United spend since Ten Hag has been the manager. He wrote that we haven't achieved enough in the 2 years he's been here. He's only been here one. And he included 3 players that haven't kicked. 2 of them haven't even signed yet. And none of them have kicked a ball professionally. And it's like, so you're having to go at Mount, Onana and Højlund, having not won the Premier League, when they haven't even kicked a ball yet. And it's almost, banter has become so bad, so poor, so boring, so over-egged. It's crazy. We had it with Man United last week, and you did a bit of it, and it was funny in the beginning. There are still people a week later saying to me, oh, Terry, Man United have cheated like City. Well, 1, City haven't been confirmed as cheating yet. 2, Man United didn't cheat. There's no alleged breach of rules or doctoring accounts or creating a fake sponsor. Man United just lost too much money. That isn't cheating. That's just they had a really bad financial year and they lost more money than they were permitted to under the regulations of FFP. But it was so minuscule. There was no ban from Europe. There was a small fine. There was no cheating involved whatsoever. People don't even read articles and they banter. It's honestly, it's crazy to me personally. And again, I've covered the City stuff and I'll talk about it, but I'll put it out there. But I've been very consistent in every video. And I know that you've seen them where I say, look, if they're found innocent, I'll back them. If they're found guilty, I'll condemn them. This is what's being said. We're talking about it, but they haven't been found guilty yet. And I don't know. I know there's some people enjoy that kind of banter, but for me, it's just becoming tiring,
I get it from a City point of view. If listen, we're winning everything. We're winning titles after titles. We're winning trebles, winning European Cups. There's now else anyone can banter us about apart from this. So I get it, but it's just funny. I just think I've had all the banter years when I could get bantered, and I mean we had nothing to say back. We were shit. We were terrible on and off the pitch, destroyed, and it was hard to live through. Let me tell you. So someone's putting 115 on my post. Seriously does not upset me. You know what I mean? Somebody saying, Steve, you've got a bald head and you cheated does not upset me because I'm living the dream at the minute. I don't care. I'm going all around the world watching the best football I've ever watched, watching my team dominate everybody else's team. So if that makes them feel better, carry on, but it ain't going to change my life. It's definitely not going to change Sheikh Mansour's life. And Man City are definitely not going away. So it is what it is, lads.
They're not. These are comments I like, though. Where's it gone? Where's it gone here? It says, why are we talking about United? Nobody's interested. You've literally got my manager's name as your heading, bruv. You're definitely.
Mate, I'm not allowed to talk about United. You know that. So for 20 years, Man United ruined my life. Yeah. And when they were good, but when they become shit, all of a sudden I can't talk about it because I'm obsessed with United. So that tells me I always love that. When I hear somebody say that to me, you're always talking about United. I know then he's upset. I know he's upset. I've got him. I know for a fact then that guy is fucking fuming in his bedroom because Big Steve, the City fan, how dare he talk about the famous Man United and say anything bad about them. So that is the one I love the most growing up, because there was times when I couldn't talk about United. I couldn't say a thing about them. But I've got shitloads to say now.
I get annoyed at a lot of United fans because they all show their asses too much. It's like, it might be annoying you, but sometimes don't tell people something annoys you, and then you don't let the cat out the bag. Like, play it cool, play it down. But again, maybe it's just my era of banter is a little different.